Hi, my name is Jamie, and today we're going to be making hot cross buns in the Thermomix.
Okay, so what are you going to put in the Thermomix first, Jamie? You need 550 grams of baker's flour. So you want to put on the scales and weigh that in. We're going to add everything in and then knead it for 8 minutes. And that's the secret to making nice, light, fluffy hot cross buns. So we need 550 grams of baker's flour. You can use regular flour if you can't find baker's flour at the moment, but it's better to use baker's flour because it has more protein in it. That's it. So we just put the scales on and measure in our flour. Keep going, a little bit more, a little bit more. Nearly, that's right, take just a touch out. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so we've put in our flour. Alright, now we're going to add in our yeast. So we've got 5 teaspoons of yeast, and this recipe is available on the Thermomix recipe community. I'll put the link in underneath. Okay, so that's our yeast, 5 teaspoons.
And
our bread improver. So that just helps the bread or the dough to work better and gives you a much better finished product. This one is 65 grams of sugar. So we've just used raw sugar. You can use any sugar you like.
brown sugar, coconut sugar.
Yep. And then we've got a teaspoon of salt. So we've got pink salt today. Pop that in. Scrape it out with your fingers. That's it. Okay, and we've got 2 teaspoons of milk powder, which you don't have to use, but you can use that if you want to. Alright. Stuck on it a little bit. That's okay. Alright, and then the next ingredient there is 2 teaspoons of nutmeg and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. So just pop that in. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to add in at the moment, or actually the second last thing, is the
Butter.
45 grams of butter. So just pop that in. Okay, and then we want to tear off our scales, and we want to put in 275 grams of lukewarm water. So just
If you don't know what lukewarm water means, it means just slightly warm.
That's right. You can see that's measuring it as Jamie pours it in. And the scales we know are accurate to 1 gram, so it's
So
really good for baking.
275.
75. Keep going, keep going. That's it. 275. That's it, perfect. Look at that, spot on. Okay. So put the lid on now, Jamie. And what we're going to do is go onto the dough. So we're going to go to the dough function. Dough. That's it. And we want to knead it for 8 minutes. So we're going to change that to 8 minutes. Okay.
And you just turn.
That's it. We're going to mix it all up. Alright, we'll come back when that's finished kneading.
And it's just finished, so
So now what are we going to do?
we're going to take it out.
going to let it proof for 15 minutes, aren't we? Okay.
That's what it looks like.
So now if you wanted to put sultanas in at this point, this is where you would put in 250 grams of sultanas. But we don't want to put sultanas in ours because we don't really like them. So at this point, measure in 250 grams of sultanas and then knead them in by hand because you don't want them chopped up. So we're going to leave them out. So we'll just wrap that up now. If you put that back on the Thermomix, Jamie, put the jug back on once you've taken out the majority of the dough. So how much is left in there? Not much. Okay, so put that back on the Thermomix, put the lid and the measuring cup back in, and then press the home button. See the little home button there? Yep. And then turn the speed up to about speed 8, and we're just going to flick all that dough out. All night. Okay. About 5 or 6 seconds, so stop that now. Alright, take it out. And you'll see that there's lots of dough has flicked out from under the blade, so now you can just pick that out easily. So we're going to wrap that up. That feels good. Okay, so wrap the dough up in the Thermomat, and we're just going to leave that. And we live in Cairns, so we don't need to worry about warmth because it's about 30 degrees here today, so it's going to proof quite well. Alright, so just pop that in the middle. If you haven't got a Thermomat, you can put that into a slightly greased glass bowl or a bowl and just cover it over with a tea towel. And if you don't have a warm place, if you live in a colder place, then you can just put it into the oven with a tray of boiling water underneath so that it can proof there. Alright, so we'll just leave that for the moment.
We're back, and we've just made the mixture for the cross and the hot cross buns, and all it is really 4 tablespoons of flour and 4 tablespoons of water, and you mix it together until there's no lumps, and then you just wait for the dough to proof, and you can just do what you want until then, and we'll be with you in a bit.
So I have just rolled the proofed dough into 12 even-sized balls, buns, and I'm now just going to put them in the oven, and I've put in a tray of boiling water underneath, so I'm going to let them proof until they have tripled in size, and the longer you let them proof, the better they're going to be. So I've just put them in the oven, a cold oven, and there's a tray of boiling water under there to create steam, and I'm just going to leave them in there until they're much bigger. Okay, so we're just doing the crosses on the hot cross buns, and I just put it into a ziplock bag, and you just pull it across the buns like that. You don't have to put that on if you don't want to, but it's Easter, so we're going to stick with the traditional recipe. So we've just put them in the oven, 180 degrees. And there you go, delicious hot cross buns, homemade with no additives, no colours, flavours, just good old home cooked hot cross buns. Can't wait to try one.